Thank you for joining us for this continuation of Nightfall. Please enjoy.
$19 plus 5 to hit. So that would be a 1d4 plus 3. Oh, where that? 4 total. 4 total for damage.
Okay, and that's for all your flurry of blows?
Oh, I guess there is another one.
Yeah.
So 11 plus 5, so that'd be 16 to hit.
Now we're getting somewhere.
And
now we're getting somewhere.
I forget that I was gonna say I forget flurry of blows is 2 additional unarmed attacks.
Yeah, just the one, right? Yeah. And Monk has
we'll
enough.
Sorry. We'll do max damage on that one for 7.
Mm-hmm. And Monk can have its own difficulties as time progresses with them doing damage. Last thing you need is to not roll some damage die, So, yeah, you managed to turn that thing into an episode of let me show you how these knives work. And you chop up that spider without much issue. He was the spider that actually bit you on the shoulder. You're like, bite me, will you? And turn around and tear into it, asshole to elbow. Anyway, continuing around to Lucius. Lucius, there is but one spider left. He's on top of the wall. He's looking down at you. He thinks, you look tasty. You look good.
I think that he looks like he is about to explode.
Let's find out. Rolling fast.
30-20. 17 damage this time. 15 force and 2 fire.
As the spider leaps at you from the wall, you meet it in midair with this Eldritch blast. And you see it scatter and fly all over the place, flinging past you. Managing somehow to keep all of the spider guts off of your clothes. You're like, well, that was convenient. Next, coming back around, Delmont. There's a lot of commotion on this side, as it seems like fighting is thick. Indeed it is. As though Lucius and you have managed to wipe out these spiders that came out. Kythos and Willow have been having struggles. Willow, I think you actually did. No, you haven't managed it down. All right, Willow, I'm sorry, Delmont. I sound like my grandfather trying to call one of us kids as a child. Zeke, Becky, Curtis, Mike,
Patrick, Curtis,
Damon, Patrick. Have to call every one of us before you get it
control
right.
Sorry about that. Token?
No problem. And you are in the driver's seat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I am going to shoot at that spider right there.
Okay. Make me a ranged attack, please.
Yes, indeedy. That's an 11.
11. 11 total to hit. You're shooting with your bullets, right?
Guns.
Yeah, so I'll make sure. Another game you're playing a caster. This time you're playing a tinker. I like it. I like the contrast between the two. So you pull the trigger. Although a big sound, Willow knows you're there to help. It's all just theatrics. It doesn't find purchase. But that's not the end of your story. you've got an invention.
No, I saw. I've got a TikTok.
That's right. All right, so he
Because he's
makes
going
his
to
way forward.
attack this one. That's a 20 to hit this thing.
You do hit. Roll damage.
And that cart hits. Ooh. It was a little clogged, and then it wasn't. Ooh.
I'm sorry, David.
That is 7 to the spider.
7. Understood. Okay. You hit it with the force damage. It lurches back. Willow. That brings us to you. Delmont has
Before
come
we
in
get
with
started on my round, I want to point out your timer on Twitch says we've only been going 24 minutes. Did you pause the stream?
No. It may have reset. It does that.
Okay. Well, we had people in chat a couple of different times, and now we don't. So I was just curious.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what's going on. I haven't changed anything, so. No. Huh. Yeah, it still shows us up. I don't know.
Right, we are now, but like I said, it reset 25 minutes ago for some reason. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know why. Okay.
Did TikTok manage to kill the one that was in front of me, or did it somehow still survive all that?
Sorry, you turned my attention to that. I just want to respond real quick. A forest fire. Bring the fire. Some fire marshals. Okay. Nice. All right. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. Just reading the chat. Glad you guys made it or whatever. If you're still there, great. That should be actually, it's kind of funny enough, Cody and Cody. The Pickle 35 is actually Cody. And Bad Owl 420, that's actually Cody as well. 2 different Codys. So, Pickle and Cody. That's what I call them. Glad to see you guys are there. And I'm sorry, Willow. Continue.
I was asking if TikTok had managed to kill the one that he'd hit, considering that's the one I had been beating on.
Unfortunately, no. He did do some damage to it. It recoiled. No, it's not down. Not just yet.
My goodness, these things are indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to a bag of old tricks and use Thunder Wave once again because I've got 2 of them lined up close enough to hit both at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm going to go after the 2 that were facing my minions rather than the one that's facing me because I now have backup to take on that one.
Some 2 for action.
So it's a Constitution saving throw, and you need a 15.
All right. So for Constitution, they have a +1. That's a fail. That's a critical fail. What's the damage?
And damage is 11, and they get pushed back 10 feet.
Pushed back 10 feet. Push back 10 feet, you say? Push back 10 feet. So, we're going to put them back here, Willow. Where does that put them, Willow? That puts them in the
Back in the fire.
fucking fire. Let's get some fire damage rolling. Let me get 2d6. Yeah, let me get 2d6.
Okay. And that would be a total of 4.
4 points.
I got a 3 and a 1.
4 points to each spider. Okay. All right. And that's going to end your turn.
Yes.
Kythos.
Yes.
All right. You got some risky business over there. These spiders are making their way towards your volunteers. But they didn't count on Kythos actually still being up in 8. You've managed to down one of them, but there's 2 more. And they seem divided between who to attack, you or them. What would you like to say about it?
I want to just go ahead and just start beating on them.
Okay, Hulk
I'm going
smash.
full on. Yeah.
All right, make some attacks. I'm guessing you're gonna attack flurry of blows.
Well, I don't have. I can't really do any more fury of blows because I've already used up. I had 1 key point used earlier, and I've spent 1, and now, no, I've spent them both now because the last 2 times.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna go up and start beating on it with unarmed strike. That's 21 to hit.
Good job. That does hit. Let's see what damage it is.
And 5 for damage.
5 for damage. Not bad. You do manage to hit the thorax of this creature, and it lunges backwards. Its attention is fully on you now. As it turns about to look at you. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Look around if you know. Anyway, that's going to bring us, if that's the end of your turn.
Oh yeah, I mean I have agile parry, so I made that unarmed strike as part of my attack. So on my turn, if I'm holding a Kinsey weapon or whatever, I gain a +2 bonus to my AC until the start of my next turn.
And you are holding a weapon.
Well, yeah, I've pretty much always had one of my darts because we use my dart as my Kinsey weapon.
That's fine. It's a little. I kind of see you like gently out there with needles, just like.
Well, no, I think my dart. I consider my dart more like a kunai.
Okay. Okay.
Because
I like.
It's a blade, but it's also thrown.
I'd like to in the next coming weeks, Curtis. I know you can doodle a little bit, and I can too. Let's doodle what your darts look like. I'd like to see. So that brings us to Lucius. Wait. Oh no. Wait. Me Nix. Nix, like monsters mess with Nick's friends.
Oh God.
So, fire, as you hear this voice, shoots out and shoots at this spider. Now, I apologize. Give me one brief moment while I access my D&D Beyond character sheet, because I do have Nyx as a D&D Beyond character. And I'm going to roll some stuff and some whatnot, and I'll tell you what happens. I almost always create a DMPC for all of my campaigns. It helps me to give out information when it's needed and also help out in moments when necessary. And sometimes just lead into different things. And so here's Nyx. Nyx has come a couple of times when you need a little bit of help. Not saying they do, but here it comes. Okay. A firebolt rings out and shoots over top of one of the spiders. Does not connect. Okay. But Nyx is on the board. And Nyx is important. Because Nyx has special things he can do. But yeah, Nyx is there. Okay. He shoots at this spider over here. But to no avail. Okay. That brings us to Lucius. Now the volunteers that were over there, Curtis, they've begun running away. So as Nyx approaches, the volunteers are running past him. So they run past him and they're looking at the face of a kobold, and they're not sure who they're afraid of more, this little kobold creature or the spiders. But there's more spiders than there are kobolds, so they just fly past him. Lucius, all your spiders are dead, but there's some commotion coming over from the right of you. What would you like to do?
If I believe that that section is in danger, then I'm gonna run that way and try to get within range.
Okay, so you make your way over there, and before long, you can see the sea laying out with the spiders and Kythos and Nyx all engaged in combat as these volunteers begin running away. What would you like to do?
Oh, I think you know.
Eldritch Blast on Fire Laser.
Uh-oh. I rolled a 13.
I'm afraid that's not going to hit. So your shot goes wide, and it hits one of the trees. It just shoots over Nyx's head. I'm sorry?
I thought you were going to say it misses and hits one of the villagers.
No. No, but I was going to say that it hits it shoots just off to the right a little bit. It just so happens that Nyx is on the right. And so it hits the trees just above Nyx, and Nyx is like, hey, watch it. But anyway, that brings us around to the spiders, and that brings us to Willow and Delmont's spiders. Delmont, you ran forward charging with your pistol, with your TikTok. Delmont, are you there?
Yes.
I'm making sure. My dad has diabetes, much like some other people that I know, and he falls asleep sitting up. And so I wanted to make sure you're still.
No, I was just dealing with some messages. That's all.
Making sure. Okay, so you and TikTok had taken to attacking one of the spiders and one of the other spiders. Well, the spider that was closest to you is turning to where you guys are. And Jing is, yes, that's the one. And I'm going to turn him towards you guys. So, Delmont, we're going to make an attack against TikTok because TikTok was the one that initiated combat.
He has an AC of 15.
15 plus 5 will be a total of a 19. That does hit. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Good news here. Immune to poison. Not immune. Does he have any resistances to piercing or bludgeoning damage or like that?
No, but he does have he's immune to charmed, exhaustion, and poison.
That's what I was figuring. So no poison
damage.
I figured there was no poison damage here, but he is going to take 6 points of piercing damage. No Constitution save needed because he is a machine.
Yeah.
Willow. The spider continues to approach you. You've not really made an attempt to back up.
Nope.
We are going to attack.
Okay. AC 13?
AC 13. That is a leaner, although it was a 16, which would hit. 10 plus 5 is a 15. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. So, we're going to roll damage here, D8 plus 3. 5 points piercing. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
The fangs of the spider come and just happen to pierce your shoulder, as just happens to get a hold of you as you're trying to fly out from its mandibles get a hold of you and just happen to get those claws that pierces you. I'm sitting here thinking about a fairy being hit by this giant spider and how the fangs would pretty much just go right through you. There'd be no more Willow. But for all intents and purposes, there is. Okay? So it barely strikes you.
I got a 21.
That does save. That's good. You're not paralyzed. You're going to take half of this.
What's total damage?
Total damage is 7. We're going to round up, so 4 points of piercing. 4 points of poison damage. Okay? Now, according to what happened with the Night Hag the night before, you're still upright, right?
Yes.
Good. All right. I'd hate for that to be the end of it. All right. And that is going to bring us around to Kythos and Lucius' area, where Kythos is engaged with some spiders. Kythos, I need you to know your AC.
16.
That's an 11 plus 5 is a 16. Here we go again. That's going to be a total of 7 points of piercing damage.
Oh, hey, I have that agile parry. So my AC is actually 18.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was afraid I was about to kill my brother. All right. Okay. And so you happen to use your dart, your kunai, as the fangs come down to block them. Okay. Nyx. What? Oh, I need to know your AC. Nyx no have AC. Nyx invincible. Okay. It's a 17, right? Okay, it's 17. 16 plus 5, that hits Nyx. Nyx no get hit. Nyx got hit. Take 4 points of damage. Okay. Nyx takes 4 points of damage. Nyx needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Nyx, no, make a Constitution saving throw. Nyx fails his Constitution saving throw. Nyx, you can shut up. You're paralyzed. Okay. So Nyx is paralyzed on the ground. Take a little bit of damage. So much for a hero. That brings us around to Delmont. Sorry, I talked to myself. Deal with it. Delmont,
Yeah.
There's still a spider up. It attacked at your TikTok, and TikTok didn't seem to appreciate that too much, and I don't think you do either, because you've got to repair those holes.
Well, he can fix some. He can fix a little bit of himself, but
Yes.
no. Yeah, no. This guy is going to lead injection.
Okay.
So that is a 17 to shoot.
I'm so sorry. You hit
17 to
Yeah.
hit.
You hit. You had me laughing internally for a second about something I was thinking about. Steve Martin, Three Amigos. I'm going to fill you so full of lead you'll be using your dick for a pencil. What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
So that is a 9. So that's 9 damage.
You managed to kill that particular guy. All right.
So I'm going here. TikTok is coming here. TikTok is going to attack.
Let me just get rid of him real quick. Did I get rid of him successfully? Oh, there we go. There you go. Sorry.
So TikTok is coming here, and he's going to attack the one in front of Willow. We're just systematically marching and stomping.
It works. If it ain't broke, make an attack, please.
So that is a 23 for TikTok.
Yeah. Roll for damage.
That is 10 damage.
Between everything else that Willow has been nickel and diming this guy with, 10 damage is overkill at this point. But yeah, you just turn him into mincemeat. It's dead. Willow, they do have a hit point total, and you guys have finally exceeded. All your spiders are dead. Kythos and Nyx, you're over there. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kythos. Nyx is
I'm
asleep.
going to, before my turn ends, use healing word on myself.
I screwed myself with the whole turn of rotation around the clock. I apologize. Willow, please. Continue.
Yep, that's all right. So I'm just going to use healing word on myself to try and restore the 7 hit points I took a moment ago.
All right.
And I do. I get 8 points back. Caps at 7, so...
Okay. That brings us to Kythos and Nyx. Kythos, there's been some fuckery. Paralyzed. Finally up. All the minions start fleeing as these spiders begin marching. You manage to finally stand and bring yourself to bring down one of these spiders as, well, they are not going quietly into the night. And they've resisted. Nyx is now paralyzed. Lucius comes to help. But this battle seems to be still on the teeter's edge. Either side could win at this moment. And last I checked, you aren't looking so good on health. What would you like to do?
No, I'm down to like half my health. I'm down to like 10. I'm gonna run over and help stabilize Nyx.
Okay, I'm going to turn your volume up a little bit. I'm having a hard
Oh,
time.
sorry, I was leaning back.
Okay.
I said I'm gonna go over and help stabilize Nyx, since I'm not looking too good on health right now.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. You can do that. All right, so you disengage from the spider and make your way over to assist Nyx. Now, looking at the battle map the way I see it, this is going to be a very sticky situation. Now, one of the things as a DM, guys, as far as my streamers go, everyone that's watching, I'm not a rules lawyer. I'm a narrative lawyer. I want to make sure the narrative's good. I want to make sure you guys know what's going on. I want to make sure the story, whatever in general. I do not pick bones of rules. But in this case, I see you having to run between two spiders to get to Nyx.
Oh, I can't see.
Yeah, and that's not your fault. That's not your fault. But there is a little bit of trouble there. When I'm looking at the map right now, and that's kind of the problem when I use the map, it puts me in a very sticky situation. Is I don't want to go against it because there it is. But when I'm only using theater of mind, I'm like, yeah, no problem.
As long as he doesn't step 5 feet away from either one of them, they don't get the attack of opportunity.
And this map is rather big. So if you take a wide berth around one of those spiders, I would say that you could. Because I did not make this map for 5-foot squares. This is not an accurate battle map. This is a very large area we're trying to kind of keep track of. So if you made a wide berth, I could say you could use all your movement to make your way around that spider to get to Nyx. You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to do that, rather than you just running around. You are practically a ninja. I mean, that's what you are, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't run anywhere. You backflip, you spring, and you jump.
Jumping.
So you
dodge,
leap.
dip, dodge, dive, and dodge.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So you start jumping around and cartwheeling and making your way around towards Nyx is, as you know, the spider shoots at you with its web, and it misses you entirely. Can you just, for the sake of argument, make me an acrobatics check? This is going to mitigate all your movement.
Let me see what. Ooh, okay. Holy Cheez-Its. That was a 7 with a +5. That was only a 12.
12 total. 12 was fine. So you managed to be able to spring and bound because you're not going against their AC. You're just going against the ability to jump and so forth. So just for theatrical sense, spiderwebs shoot out and you flip and flop and make your way over to Nyx without them ever hitting. Now that you're at Nyx, make me a medical check.
Uh, 4 total.
4 for your medical check?
Yeah, that was a nat 1 on that.
So you take a look at...
With a +3.
When you're looking at Nyx, you're like, holy shit. He's dead. You observe Nyx try to help him with the poison, but when you're looking at him, you can't tell if he's breathing or not under that armor he has. Like the merchant before, or the minion you had, his chest was rising and falling. You're not even sure how to start trying to help Nyx. You're not sure if he's alive or not. Guys, I'm about to explode. I have to use the restroom.
Can we go ahead and take 5 so I can have a smoke too? I'll take that as a yes.
Sounds good to me.
relief. I'm sorry. Just as I was leaving, Lucius, you were asking if you could what?
Take a smoke break, which he did.
Let's do that.
Taking 5.
Let's take a 5-minute smoke break. Okay. Sounds like a good idea. I just didn't have time to listen to what he was about to say. I was literally about to push. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We're about to get to the end of the session here in a few minutes. I do try to end the game at 1 o'clock. I don't know, about 3 hours. And we were about that mark. Might run on just a little bit longer because we did have some delays starting up. But I've just been watching my clock the entire time. So we're going to run till 1:30 tonight. Is everyone okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this session so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Good. Try not to take away from what you guys were doing as much as what I wanted. And it wasn't about what I wanted to do, it's about what the plan you guys came up with. And it was a good plan. Really good plan. I like it. I just felt like a final confrontation was in me. So here we go.
Hey, as long as we find a couple of charred bodies belonging to some ettercaps when we're done with this, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I can't guarantee any of that. We'll see.
I'm just hoping that there's no human remains in the woods.
Oh, that would be bad. Yeah.
Nah, see, my fear is that they open a portal or something and climb right out of our area of influence.
Yeah, there is that interest into the Fae, and that is possible. After all, that was what they were doing here. For those at home watching, for about a month now, our group has been dealing with an ettercap issue. And I'm not sure if you guys are really aware of what an ettercap is. Would anyone like to elaborate? If not, I'll take it. Ettercap is like a humanoid spider creature. That's what they call it. In the end, what it boils down to is they're druids from, well, lore will say. Into creature. And somewhere along the line, they abused that. No one knows exactly how they got turned into ettercaps. They did. And to this day, ettercaps still come from that whatever dark thing that those evil druids once did. And ettercaps continue to create a doorway between the material plane and the Fae. And what they'll do is they'll create and Fae creatures will make their way into their domain in which this doorway is open, only to find the other end completely infested with vermin. Now, ettercaps attract giant spiders, scorpions, centipedes, and other creatures of the like that these guys have encountered.
Fuck giant scorpions.
Yeah. And they tend to basically munch on these unsuspecting Fae creatures, much like Willow, which Willow was very concerned about dealing with these because he's perhaps lost some friends this very thick way. But yeah, ettercaps are nasty, and the fear of them still lingering, yeah, that could definitely be a problem. And the fact that they do have a possible escape route, but they would be making their way to the Fae. Interesting notion, Willow. Very interesting. Is Lucius back yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think we're going to continue from here. So, this is going to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. Nix is still the influence of the poison. Spider, sorry, get back into it. Spider, it's your guys' turn, isn't it? Lucius.
Yeah.
Kythos, you attacked at one of them. No, you went to go help Nix, and were unable to. Then I had to go use the restroom, and Matt decided you need to take a smoke break. I took a smoke break. Now we're back. Lucius, it is your turn.
No, that's a nat 1 on an Eldritch Blast, my guy. For a total of 8.
Can you roll a d6?
That's another 1.
Good. Because on 5 or 6, you were going to hit Kythos or Nix. So it hits in front of the spider you were trying to shoot at, and it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hit anything at all. It doesn't.
You want to get those natural ones out of your system now so that we can, have a good close to the session?
Can I, since it accidentally hit in front of the spider, can I roll intimidation?
Take that. I'll
Oh.
make it more of you.
You know what? I'll let you roll it. I'll let you roll an intimidation. Go ahead.
That's a 23.
I was thinking I'm going to let you roll a disadvantage, and I should have had you do that, but I didn't declare that. So yeah, your burst of your Eldritch Blast down at the ground in front of the spider actually turns disadvantage into advantage as the spider backs up, as he was encroaching upon Nix, helpless on the ground. Okay, so you yell at the spider, next one's coming for your eyes, or something like that. It looks at you like, oh, shit. And that brings us around
Like your brother.
to the spiders. I see 2 left. Kythos, AC.
16.
It strikes at you. Its legs, they come and drape over you as the fangs come down upon you. And you put your hand up just at the last moment to keep the fangs from coming down upon you and push it down off of
Whew. As my butthole releases from being puckered.
Lucius. The spider that you were intimidating begins to back up and is looking at the forest ablaze and is kind of stunned as far as what to do. That's going to bring us all the way back around to the top of initiative. Delmont, your spiders are all squashed. There's still some commotion and fighting beyond you, over in the area in which Kythos was. You can see the peasants are running away. You're not sure what's going on, but you know it's not good. What would you like to do?
So I'm moving past Willow. Looking in the distance.
You can see Kythos.
And
sorry.
So yeah, I'm gonna shoot the spider that's trying to give Kythos a hard time.
Would you make me an attack, please?
With Kythos being adjacent, would I have advantage?
I'll give you that.
Uh, 16 to hit.
Roll for Damash.
Woo!
That is 12 piercing.
Kythos, as
Yes.
you push back that spider up and off of, okay, it explodes. Okay, as a shot
I look
rings
at-
out through it. As you just held it up just long enough, just perfect enough for Delmont to train a shot off. And it falls lifeless as it comes apart.
Please
I
tell
look
me
at
your
my
mouth is
hand.
open.
I
Sorry?
look at my hand that I was pushing it away from, and I'm like, huh? Did I just do that?
I'm awesome. Okay.
As I try to do it again, as I motion and try to do it again to the next spider.
Okay, I want to
As-
see that.
And I am going to have TikTok heal himself.
Okay. TikTok goes busy. And little.
Heals himself for. Yeah, because he's got an ability.
I don't know
that
why.
allows-
I'm stuck with the whole. I don't know if you guys remember the old Fox X-Men cartoons with the Sentinel that came when Bishop went back into time and they were able to repair themselves. And these little tentacles used to come out and they would just like put itself back together. I kind of imagine that almost with like a little like area in the chest that opens up and these little hands or whatever end up coming out and start just doing repairs on it. So it's gone into like stasis mode and it's just repairing itself.
I kind of pictured almost like a Borg fixing itself.
Remind me how a Borg does that.
Like, if you remember, like, watching the show, like, watching the cubes, like, when they'll self-repair.
Okay. See, that's the thing is I'm not picking up. I'm not recalling that.
Where it's, like, the damage just kind of, like, just starts knitting itself back together.
Like nanobots type deal.
Yeah.
You know, I can go with that. I can go with that. So it still goes into stasis mode. and the area in which was punctured by those just starts kind of
Yeah, just
knitting itself back together.
yeah.
Okay, I like it. It's like something internal is doing it.
Mhm.
Okay,
5
right.
points of damage.
Okay, and I like it best with all my viewers out there, everyone that may be watching this. I like it best when we all come up with a collective idea of what we're envisioning for each character. Theater of mind is awesome, especially when you embrace it. Willow.
Okay. Willow is going to fly straight up into the air and do a double movement in the process to try and get high enough to see past the smoke and stuff to make sure that the fire has engulfed the entire forest. Since, I'm still on duty for my section of the forest.
I'm very glad to hear you say that, Willow. Would you make me a perception check with advantage, please?
Okay. 23.
So you dart up in the air pretty high. You can see the smoke rising from the forest as it continues to engulf the forest. And you can see like the entire thing is ablaze now. It has just worked internally, just routing the whole thing. And it is like this huge furnace of burning fire. You can see the ripple effect of smoke and heat transcends before your eyes. But upon that, beyond that, you can see little locations that you know some of your allies are set. And you can see, even though the distance, that that they are busy just dealing with something similar to what you have going on right now with these spiders coming out. You see the Minotaur over there with a giant axe, and he's just laying waste to some of them, cutting them completely in half. As Judge is using his rifle and pistol in tandem, bah, bah, blowing them down. Gaia over there in a bear form, ripping arms off of spiders. Okay, as Alia over there with her own spider in tow, combating against these spiders. As her spider's up in front, and she's just laying waste to them with her arrows. And Alistair over there with his sword, just tearing into these spiders left and right. You can see a sense of this is working. This is working. We are containing this blaze. We are containing the spiders within it, and they can't get past our friends that we've put in place. It's working quite well with them. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Well, my intent was to try and convey, if something wasn't going well. Given the fact that it seems to be going well, I am going to hover in my space because I've used up both my movement and action to get into that position. And I will end my turn.
TikTok, I like it. Very nice, David. Very nice. I like it. All right. Those of you at home, I give you TikTok. All right, and that brings us to Kythos. Kythos, there's a little bit of fuckery going on over there with those spiders. How would you like to handle it?
Isn't this one blown up?
He blew.
He is.
Bug gut.
He is blown up. He is blown up. I forgot about that. Good call. Let me do that real quick. He will be gone. So there's only the one left, and he's He's not looking too confident about the situation as Lucius has shot at him with that, Eldritch Blast and made his butthole pucker.
That I totally did on purpose.
100%.
Okay, so is it possible for me to cruise over, jump, and like Kratos jump and use my kunai and like jam it in the back of the spider?
Make me an attack. Wait. Hold on. Make me an athletics first. Because you're jumping.
That was a nat 20 with a +2.
Make an attack with advantage.
Ooh, that was a nat 1 on that first one. And that's a 14 on the second one.
Buff. 14 hits.
With, I would say, with a +5 on that attack for the dart. So that'd been a 19. So damage.
So you're attacking him with a dart. I want to make sure that's understood. You're attacking him with a dart, right?
Yeah, my kunai, like,
Okay.
in hand.
So you just do a basic standing. You're not running. Standing jump over top of it. Okay?
Just
Backflip handspring over top of it. And just let loose with this dagger. Right down into its brain. Make damage. Roll me some damage.
I rolled it. It was a full damage. 4 + 3 for 7.
How would you like to do this?
Well, kind of basically like what you just said. Do a standing, jump backwards. Like, here, I'll try to do it like this. Kind of be like, do like a jumping backflip and have it in hand and just like kind of like swan dive, arch back, and just.
No. You have to demonstrate the whole thing. You can't just half do it. I want to see a standing backflip.
Someone call an ambulance for Curtis.
There, a standing backflip. But yeah,
right.
Kind of like backward swan dive and like come down and like land on it. Like,
Okay. All right, so you jump up in the air, backward flip, little swan dive, and throw your dart down.
He's gone from ninja to luchador.
And then follow up by landing on the spot in which you hit him with the dart, driving the dart through its head and pinning it into the ground below. Something like that?
yeah, just like that.
And with that, you're like looking at your wound on your arm, and you're like, fuck. But you're looking over your shoulder at the blazing forest and the sounds of shrieks and what you know are these spiders just popping. You can hear what sounds like these little egg sacs just popping, and you know that you've done a good job, guys. And you guys continue to wait.
Popcorn.
What's that?
I said popcorn.
Popcorn, right. So you're hearing the popcorn.
That smell has to be horrible.
Absolutely. And the fire
hair.
The fire continues to grow as the smoke flumes in the air. The smells are a mixture of sap and of leaves and so forth burning, but you can get the aroma of something else, something foul. But you know that in the end you cleanse this land. And you continue through the night as this forest continues to burn.
Yeah, we just need to stand around, make sure that the fire doesn't spread, and just make sure everything's contained.
So I was planning on getting you guys back to town at the end of the session. Didn't happen. It's okay. We did a little more here. There was something I was going to do, but we're not going to do it this time. I think this is a pretty good time to end this session. Okay? We're around the 1 o'clock mark. It's about where I want to end, anyway. It's been a good time. You guys finally put an end to these spiders. Now, if you want to give me 30 more minutes, you guys down? We can end this chapter. Or we can pick it up next
Does that
time.
mean level up?
30 more minutes.
Does that mean we level up?
30 more minutes.
I'm fine with
30 more minutes. All right, so the fire, it continues to burn throughout the evening. You guys make camp and you continue to watch. Nothing else stirs through the evening. The rest of the group, the Minotaur, I'm sorry. Let me do away with this music real quick. You guys are done with combat. Let me take care of that real quick. You guys are done with the spiders. You guys can hear sounds of the twinkle sounds of the river. And Willow begins to play a tune as you guys try to forget the moments that transpired that day. There are a bunch of people around. Some of them licking minor wounds and so forth. Others talking about the heroic efforts of your crew, of Kythos almost dying, but literally at the last,
Again.
almost dying again, but had something to say in the end. What was going to happen with that? I didn't have to help you guys that much. Sure, I think so. I had a lot more planned. You guys did a good job. You guys are swelling yourselves with pride. Job well done. As you can see, there's about 90 people over there that are still in this big camp. Some of them playing songs, telling stories about how they protected this land from the spiders, how they quelled these ettercaps, how they would not go quietly into the night. With your help, they forded this endeavor. And in the morning, you make your way home. The circus. And the circus is in town. You guys make your way back to the watermill, weary from your travels. Clean yourselves up, and you can hear the sounds of the town. Music playing. The circus is there. Gaia, I'm not so sure is going to be so thrilled about the circus, given everything that's gone on. Would any of you want to go to see the circus?
Willow still doesn't have a proper understanding of the circus, and therefore is still assuming that this is somehow going to transport her to a place of possible allies, even if they are being mistreated based on what's being said by the party members. Maybe I can liberate those allies and therefore, fortify the allegiance or something.
Oh, crap, that's just what we need, is a fucking menagerie in my house.
I'm gonna go watch the circus. I'm curious. I want to see what's going on.
Someone responsible needs to babysit these guys.
You were letting yourself, because I'm not sure if you count as responsible.
Hey, I'm a respected member of this community, damn it.
He's going to come in as the fire marshal and shut down the whole circus. I'm sorry, too many people in this tent. Evacuate immediately.
Holding a lit torch. Are we going to have a problem?
Now, something I did kind of leave out, guys, is as you guys were making your way home.
You know what we should have done? Is once all the fire was out, go through the ashes to make sure that everything was dead, and make sure that and to see if there's anything valuable.
Yeah, because gold won't burn. It'll just melt if it's hot enough.
We can send a scout to check on it
Gems
later.
won't burn.
So you've seen the town for the last few weeks, but the town is unusually bustling with traffic. As you guys return in the morning, by midday, there are people filling the streets. It seems like people have come from different areas around to come and view this circus that is supposed to come tonight. And so the tavern is full and the streets are mingling with crowds. You guys fight through the crowds, those of you making your way to the circus. Kythos, you see while you're in there that there are suspended ropes and wires above this ring inside this giant tent. And you're seeing people that are up on those ladders. You're like, man, that's pretty cool. I wish I could do that. I bet I could show them a thing or two. Willow, as you're making your way in, you see a number of different animals. And Gaia might as well. Elephant, a tiger, even some monkeys. Okay. And you may be entranced with them a little bit. Lucius, I don't know exactly what you're into. You don't really know what you're into. You can't remember who you were beyond, last year?
Something of the sort.
But something seems so familiar about this setting. You can't put your finger on it. Something about the tents and the people milling around. It seems so familiar, but you can't put your finger on it. Delmont, you're beside yourself with a little bit of pride. You remember when you came to this town a couple years ago, and it was nothing but a knoll with a field of, red clovers. Since then, it's become this town, and now it is overrun with people, well beyond what once was. You guys go and attend the circus for the evening. Is there anything you guys would like to get into while you're here? I want to give you guys a little time to. I don't want to railroad you guys. If there's anything you would like to do, let me know.
Well, one thing about circuses. Well, first off, I want to keep Willow on a short leash because she might end up getting into trouble. But circuses are also known for their oddities and rarity.
Indeed.
So, and
picture like a manicore or You know.
Sometimes they have like m- uh, technological marvel.
Oh, is that what you're in the search of?
I'm looking to see if they've picked, if this place has picked up anything interesting, over its travels that I can
Oh, boy.
possibly, observe, reverse engineer, kind of get my creative juices flowing.
Okay. So I like that. Willow, you said something else about you was talking about attractions, and you were talking about different types of attraction, creature attraction.
Right. So I'm actually going to wait until there is a break in between shows or whatever while they're setting up from one thing to the next. But before I, because I'm all excited. I'm getting into the show itself. The presentation is done really well, and it's building everything up, and I really know that these are fey creatures. These aren't just some tigers or monkeys or whatever. They have to be fey. Look at what they're doing, and so I'm going to you know make my way out while they're trading out shows and attempt to unlock the various cages as I find them in cages rather than, just mingling like everybody else is.
Okay, I gotta pause that 1 second. I think I heard you say good, but I have to back that up. Hold on 1 second.
Uh,
It's a funny thing. You see, I was just thinking about going outside and smoking a cigarette and hear what you guys had to say. And I think I heard you say you want to go around and start unlocking all the cages with the animals.
Right. So in between shows, whenever they took whichever ones were on display out, I went out to try and talk to them, and finding that they're in cages rather than mingling like all the other people are, I'm going to start opening cages.
After all, when you looked at the pamphlet, it was like people and animals living together in harmony. And when you come and look at it, it's like this is segregation. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And like I said, the tricks they were doing and everything made them seem personified. They seem like they possess a greater intelligence or ability than they do, and therefore I'm assuming that they are, fey animals. That are more capable than the mundane from the material plane.
I like that. Like that. Continuing. Is there anyone else who would like to do anything?
Yeah, I have a question that's somewhat of a joke, and then a couple things. But Delma, weren't you going to prevent the shenanigans?
yes, that was one of the things. Is what first thing is I need to keep Willow on a short leash, but I'd like to go see this other stuff. But if it means keeping Willow from doing something stupid, I have to follow Willow.
You looked away from Willow for half a second, and then she's just gone.
Yeah, it's basically like, oh, look at this chess playing machine. This machine. This automaton that plays chess. And then I just look, and then I turn my back for a second, and Willow is gone.
That's amazing.
Like this, Delmont. To be honest, you're over there. You're looking at these little inventions. Something catches your eye. Something you've never seen before, Delmont. This guy has what looks like 2 prongs standing up on a table. And you can see this current, of light traveling between them, going up and up and up. He says it's something called electricity. You've never
Well, I
heard.
know what electricity.
Oh, wait, no, you
I
have.
know what
You've heard a little bit
it's
about
like. Well, yeah, that's what lightning is. Lightning damage.
it. This guy has learned to somehow harness it. Okay.
Ooh.
And as you're looking at this, you're like, oh my God, I have to. You see Willow disappear, flying around, heading over towards where the lions are.
Oh no.
So, as you said, you're like, I don't have time to look at this invention. I have to go see Willow. So you follow Willow. But before we get there, Kythos, was there anything you wanted to do? I guess not. And Lucius, there was nothing you wanted to do?
Sorry, I forgot mine was muted. I was dealing with the kids for a second. I was saying I'm just watching observing the trapeze artists and stuff, just studying them.
Okay, I like that. Lucius, was there anything you wanted to do?
We'll have to probably do mine later. I'm gonna stick with Gaia and make sure she doesn't commit arson.
Oh, right. Okay, so you're hanging out at the windmill. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna get to what Gaia wants to do the next time. Okay, because Gaia kind of fell asleep, and I hate that. But Willow, Delmont, you see Willow meandering over towards where the animals are, and most in particularly leading towards where the lions' cages are.
Oh,
You don't like that. You don't like that.
Oh, no, she's bite-sized. They're wild animals. She is a fly. They're giant cats, and she is a bug.
Okay, so Willow, you make your way
Yep.
over towards where the lions' cages are. You see a man there. He's dressed all in like fancy, what looks like exotic clothing, like silks and shit like that, with leather, what looks like trying to find the word for it, overgarments on his clothes. He's got a whip in his hand, and on the other hand, he has a switch, and he's talking to the animals, the lions most in particular, as he wraps the stick on the cage, and the lions, they roar at him angrily, okay? And he giggles and begins to walk away. He goes over and talks to a group of girls. He's like, yeah, I take care of these lions. These lions, they ain't got nothing on me. They know their place. They know in a second I can snap their neck like a twig. Talking a bunch of bullshit to these girls. And they are all inspired by his yarn of his heroic endeavors to rein these lions. But it gives you the perfect opportunity to make your way over to the lions.
Right.
And so
And I'm not gonna take time to wait for them to reply. It's literally the notion of they're in a cage. I'm kind of horrified that they're being mistreated this way. I heard Gaia claim that they were mistreated and that kind of thing, but I didn't imagine that any fey creature would allow a human to own it, kind of thing. So I'm going to go over and I'm literally going to just pull on the slide bar, trying to open it and, let them know, don't worry, I'm here to free you kind of thing. We'll talk about how you can repay me later kind of thing. And just literally trying to let them out.
Okay. That's a great idea. I would like you to do me an animal handling check first.
Okay. Animal handling. Here we go. 21.
Okay. The lion doesn't try to eat you. That's a good thing. The lion curiously looks at you. He's upset at first when you approach because of the trainer. But your words somehow comfort it, your mannerisms and so forth, and it looks at you curiously as you land upon the gate there, the lock, and it's watching you, and it seems calm, it seems cool, it seems non-threatening. And as you reach down to start manipulating the lock, that's when Delmont comes around the corner. And Delmont, you see Willow over here trying to manipulate this lock with this cage of this lion.
What
That
are
is-
you doing? Are you trying to get eaten?
Look at this, this majestic beast here. He deserves better than a cage. I'm sure the humans are put up in a proper, room.
Keep your voice down. Keep your voice down.
What are we worried about?
The guy right over there.
Him? Watch this. I'm going to cast
Willow.
Tasha's hideous laughter on the.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Am I? Yep.
What's the save?
Tasha's hideous laughter is a wisdom, and it needs 15 or above.
Let me make a quick little roll. Take me just a second to get in D&D Beyond.
It was at this moment that they realized they fucked up.
As I suspected. He looked so confident over there talking. He's like, yeah, I deal with these lions all the time. They know their place. As long as I feed them, they're just... and he just slaps on the floor, laughing his ass off in mid-sentence.
He was easy to deal with. Now, what's the problem?
Just now his friends are going to check on him. And...
So, Willow, I'm sorry. Keep going, Delmont.
Willow, these are wild animals.
You saw what they were doing. Wild animals don't walk on two legs or leap through flaming rings. Or
I understand that they're trained to do these kind of things. Like I said, these animals are generally treated very badly, but now we're probably going to have to deal with the circus, and that's a lot of people.
Well, we've got allies right here in the cage. Just let them out.
If they don't eat us too.
I'm going to reach through and pet the big guy next to me and say, look, he is just so sweet.
He is almost like a big cat. And as you reach your hand through, he nuzzles up to your hand and kind of strokes his own mane against your open stretched hand. What could go wrong?
You're going to have to convince me that it's just a creature, I think, at this point is the biggest thing, because I'm literally, it's like, it's right there. I can't speak to it. I couldn't speak to the bear, but it's right there. It's civil. It's being treated poorly. I want to help it.
So,
What do I get to roll for the lock while Delmont's trying to figure out how to talk me out of it?
all right. So,
Are you proficient with thieves' tools?
Half proficient as a bard.
Yes, I have tools or thieves' tools proficiencies. Yes.
Roll it.
Plus at level 3, you also have like jack of all trades now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You can do practically anything.
Okay.
Beauty, you have a
One
bar.
moment.
That's why it starts.
I need. One d20 plus 3 plus. Okay, how does the jack of all trades work? That's half proficiency, right?
Half proficiency. So you're going to roll, okay? Stealth pretty much wraps up all the.
It's dex plus half proficiency.
Right.
So dex plus 1. If you're not actually proficient in thieves' tools, it'd be your dex mod plus half your proficiency, which at our level would be 1.
I got a 23.
Okay. Well, that works. You take out some of your thieves' tools as Delmont's is flabbergasted at what you just said and what he's witnessed, and you begin work on the cage. Before long, you get a click, and Delmont, that click, it catches your notice. You're like, oh, fuck. But Willow, something catches your notice as well as everyone else's. There's a rumbling. The ground begins to quiver and shake. Kythos, you're inside watching the trapeze artists. Okay? And one of them swings over to one side as the ground begins to shake and quiver and loses its footing as it tries to land on the next platform. It begins to fall down on the ground as one of the other trapeze artists reaches its arm out to try to save them the last second, and they fall, luckily, and caught into a net down below that catches them. But the rumbling persists. Even the netting and the rigging from inside Kythus begins to shake. The tent begins to shake and topple. The windmill, Lucius, where you're at with Gaia, begins to shake and topple. The cages all begin to shake and topple Lucius and Willow. The animals begin to become aggravated by whatever's going on, and people begin to scream and yell about what's going on as the tent begins to collapse. And those on the outside can see a plume of red glow beyond the bridge, the elven bridge that leads out towards the wilderness in which you guys just came from. And your first instinct is like, oh no, it's the forest still on fire, but why would it shake? No, the red glow goes beyond that. Quivers and shakes, and a red glow begins to appear in the sky above. And as at this point, we are going to pause, and we'll come back next week to Curse of Strahd and Barovia, and then we'll revisit Nightfall and find out what the hell is going on. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I hope that you guys all had a good time. I know we did. At least I did.
Always.
Dealt with some spiders, finally, hopefully bringing that to a conclusion. And now we're getting some other stuff with some lions and some shaking and some quivering. Oh my. With that, I'm going to end our stream.
Greetings again. I guess before I let you go, I got a little bit of time left on this podcast here. It allows me to record up to 2 hours. I'm not going to take up 30 more minutes, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I started doing this for those that may be wondering. I've been playing D&D for a long time, at least 20 plus years. Most of my friends that I'm playing with played a considerable amount as well, some even more than me. But through our journey, we've had many adventures that we've shared, and sometimes the memory of that adventure somehow fades. And I wanted to create a way for my players to be able to remember those adventures and share them with others. And as I talked about doing that, people thought, hey, people might like to listen to that. So I decided to learn a little bit more about video editing and things of that nature and creating a podcast. And so here we are. And it's coming along little by little. Thank you for your support. So long for now.